Have you ever felt caught between two worlds, not quite belonging to either? Rusty is a 16-year-old boy of British origin, living in India, but feeling like a stranger in both cultures. He lives under the care of Mr. Harrison, a strict and cold guardian who believes in discipline, religion, and separation from all things Indian. Rusty's world is quiet, gray, and structured. He's not allowed to talk to Indian kids, join their festivals, or even eat their food. But something in Rusty begins to stir. A desire for color, for chaos, for life. And that desire pushes him to do something that will change his life forever. This is the story of The Room on the Roof, of rebellion, belonging, friendship, and finding yourself. Chapter 1, Behind the Walls. Rusty lives in Dara, a sleepy town surrounded by hills and trees. Yet his life feels more like a cage. Mr. Harrison controls everything. When Rusty wakes, what he eats, what he reads, and even what he should believe. To Harrison, Indian culture is unclean and chaotic. He believes Rusty should grow up as a proper Englishman. But Rusty walks through the bazaar on his way to school and sees something else. He sees people laughing, colors bursting from saris, spices filling the air, children playing barefoot, and bells ringing from temples. His world is full of beauty, but he can't touch it. He watches from behind an invisible wall, aching to reach the other side. At night, he stares out the window, dreaming of a different life. A freer life. Chapter 2, A Chance Encounter. One afternoon, after school, Rusty is walking along the bazaar road when a group of Indian boys calls out to him. They laugh, joke, and invite him to join them. Among them is Somi, loud, friendly, and full of life. Rusty hesitates. He knows Harrison would never approve. But something in him says yes. He joins their bicycle ride through muddy streets, tastes chaat for the first time, and gets color smeared on his shirt during Holi. It's a small taste of joy, and it's enough to change everything. When he returns home, Harrison sees the mess, the color, the light in Rusty's eyes, and gets furious. He beats Rusty and demands obedience. That night, Rusty cries silently, but he knows he can't live like this anymore. Chapter 3, Breaking Free. The next morning, Rusty does something he never imagined. He walks out the door and never looks back. He doesn't take money or luggage, just his school bag and a pounding heart. He goes to Somi, and without asking why, Somi takes him in. Rusty becomes part of their group, Somi, Suri, Ranbir. They teach him how to survive. He eats street food, sleeps under a tree for a night, and finally, Somi finds him a place. A tiny room on the roof of an Indian house. It has 4 walls, a bed, a desk, and a view of the open sky. And for the first time in his life, Rusty feels free. Chapter 4, A Room with a Sky. The room is small, dusty, and hot, but it's his. There's no one to tell him when to sleep or what to wear. No punishments. No sermons. Rusty cleans it, puts up pictures, and begins to write in a notebook. He writes about his walks in the bazaar, about temple bells and mango sellers, about laughter and chaos. Each night, he lies on the roof and watches the stars. There's music in the air, distant drums, songs from the radio, dogs barking. And he thinks, this is life. Rusty begins to find his own rhythm. He buys books, reads Indian poetry, and learns a few Hindi phrases. Every day brings something new. And slowly, the loneliness fades. Chapter 5, Friends Like Family. Rusty and his friends grow close. Somi becomes a brother figure. Suri is annoying but loyal. Ranbir is the quiet one who always smiles. They take Rusty to festivals, show him how to make paper kites, how to eat jalebi without burning his tongue. They ride bicycles through narrow alleys, climb trees, and steal mangoes. For Rusty, it's a second childhood, one that feels real. He's no longer an outsider. They tease him, fight with him, protect him, and celebrate with him. And through them, Rusty sees the true face of India, not just its color, but its soul. He's becoming part of something larger, something beautiful. Chapter 6. Meena. One day, Rusty meets Meena. She's kind, graceful, and carries a quiet sadness in her eyes. She's older married, with a young son, but she treats Rusty with warmth and interest. They talk about books, poetry, and dreams. Rusty visits her house, plays with her son, and slowly, something soft begins to grow in his heart. He doesn't understand it fully, but he knows he feels safe with her. He begins to write more poems, stories, thoughts he never shared before. Meena encourages him, calls him a writer. And in her voice, Rusty hears something he's never heard before: belief. Chapter 7. The silence after. But joy is fragile. One rainy day, Rusty hears the news. Meena has died in an accident. Her child is safe, but Rusty feels shattered. He retreats into his room. The walls feel cold now, the sky too far away. He lies in bed, silent for hours, days. Somi and the others try to help, but he won't speak. Meena's absence is like a hole, wide, deep, endless. Rusty learns what loss means, and how memories can both comfort and destroy. Chapter 8. Letters to the Sky. Slowly, Rusty begins to write again. He writes letters to Meena he'll never send. He writes stories about loss, dreams, and rain. And in writing, he begins to heal. He reads them out loud on the roof, under the stars, whispering to the night. His voice shakes, but it grows stronger. He writes about himself now, about a boy named Rusty who left behind fear and found freedom. He realizes Meena gave him something, not just love, but courage. And that courage lives in every word he writes. Chapter 9. The Road Ahead. Rusty knows it's time to move on. He can't stay in the room forever. It was a home, a school, a shelter, but now the world is calling. He says goodbye to Somi, Suri, and Ranbir. They hug him tightly, slipping gifts into his bag: a book, a handkerchief, a small framed photo. Rusty walks down the street with no plan. But he walks taller now. He's not afraid of silence, of being different, of being alone. Because he knows who he is. He's not just the British boy in India. He's Rusty, the boy with a room on the roof and a heart full of stories. Why Rusty's story matters. The Room on the Roof is more than a story about a teenage boy. It's about identity, the kind you don't inherit but create. It's about courage, not the loud kind, but the quiet choice to leave what's safe and step into the unknown. It's about how home is not always where you start, but where you arrive, often through pain, love, and growth. Rusty teaches us that freedom begins in the heart, that friendships can build bridges between cultures, and that sometimes the smallest room with a view of the sky can be the place where you finally learn to fly.